for you to contribute either through direct calls, WhatsApp, or WhatsApp messages. So once more, welcome to the program. Dilly, how
Yeah,
was your week?
my week was it's very good. It was very, 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 very good. But of course, very eventful.
That means too much money entered your
My
hands.
brother, I wish, I had a lot of things to do, and well, we are hoping that it turns out to become very profitable in terms of naira and kobo. Like Francis said, we have a seasoned practitioner within the industry, Mr. Yinka Adeyinka Rehu. He's the president of Comtoa, and Comtoa is a council of maritime truck unions and associations. He's here to talk about a whole lot of things concerning transportation within the maritime sector. Over the past few weeks, we've had issues of return of the gridlock along the Apapa corridor of the within the Nigerian Ports Authority area, and he's here to talk about it and talk about all the things that affect their business in terms of government policy, in terms of maybe even to members no, well not complying with the rules and regulations and everything that has to do with trucking and the maritime business.
I hear they're responsible for blocking the road with their trucks. Like the Nigerian Ports Authority.
B2 platform.
No, not the ATO. The man in charge of responsible for organizing the trucks. He said that they told them to stay on one lane, but they prefer to block everywhere. I'm happy we have him here today because we're going to find out why his organization has always created problem for for other road users, and all of that.
Yeah.
So
It's a packed 2 hours of talk, phone calls, news, a whole lot to learn today.
all
Welcome
right.
to the program once again.
So let's go straight to our news for the week, the things that played out during the week. Apapa traffic reforms. TPP showcases success, flags challenges, proposes solutions. The managing director of Truck Transit Parks Limited, TPP, Jama Onwuburiri,
Oh,
has outlined the major achievements, challenges, and next steps in the company's ongoing collaboration with the Nigerian Ports Authority (NPA) and the Lagos State government to manage truck traffic in and around the Apapa and Tinkan Island ports. Speaking at the All Nigerian Maritime Journalists Retreat, Onwuburiri noted that TPP was invited by the federal government in 2019 to help address the chronic gridlock that plagued the Apapa Port corridor. Since the implementation of the electronic call-up system (ETO) in 2021, the company has significantly reduced congestion, improved cargo movement, and enhanced operational efficiency within Lagos port access routes. According to him, the cost of moving cargo to and from the ports has dropped by about 65% from as high as 1.4 million to between 350 and 500,000. The system has processed approximately 3.4 million truck movements in 4 years and 9 months, with truck turnaround time falling from 2 to 3 weeks to 2 to 3 days. Despite the progress made, he highlighted key challenges still affecting seamless operations, including truck plate number duplication, non-compliance with terminal delivery orders (TDOs), and extortion by security officials. To further strengthen port access management, TPP has proposed several measures, including the deployment of new e-tag digital identity system, improved investment in terminal infrastructure, and stronger consequence management for violators. He reaffirmed TPP's commitment to working with NPA and relevant stakeholders to sustain and deepen the gains of the Apapa traffic management reforms. I would say this that before now we've not heard from the management of TTP in terms of their achievement, in terms of easing the traffic gridlock and all of that. But I think this is coming at a time when I hear that the agreement between them and the Nigerian Ports Authority is coming to an end.
Yeah, it's about to
And
expire.
yes, and it's a Nigerian thing. When things are about to expire, people tend to showcase.
Try to showcase their achievements.
Exactly what makes them want to remain in the industry. But I personally, from what I've observed, I think TPP has not been sincere with Nigerians with this report, because I know what it took the former controller of Papa Nadi.
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 That's
Tinkan, yes. I know what it took him to ensure that we had access.
Along the
access so routes. For TPP to come and be claiming this, something is wrong somewhere. But it's their news. It's what they want us to hear. But we still believe that some things are not in place.
Yeah. In other news, we have customs intercepts 25.5 kilogram of cocaine from Brazilian vessel MV San Antonio, hands over drug to the Nigerian National Drug Law Enforcement Agency. The Apapa Command of the Nigerian Customs Service has successfully intercepted 25.5 kilograms of cocaine concealed aboard the Brazilian ship MV San Antonio. The narcotics, carefully packaged into 24 parcels and hidden within 5 bags, were discovered during intelligence-driven inspections leading to the vessel's detention. This was contained in a statement by Chief Superintendent of Customs Issa Suleiman, the command's public relations officer. In the statement, the Customs Area Controller of the Command, Comptroller Emmanuel Oshoba, praised the operation as a testament to the effective collaboration between the Nigerian Customs Service and the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency, the NDLEA. He noted that intelligence revealed the ship made several stops after leaving Brazil, including ports in Honduras and Guatemala, which are known for drug trafficking activities. Oshoba emphasized the NCN's commitment to ensuring that only legitimate trade operates within the Apapa port, reinforcing directives from the Comptroller General of Customs, Bashir Adewale Adeniyi. While transferring the confiscated drugs to the NDLEA for further investigation, he confirmed the detention of the ship that arrived in Nigeria with the illegal substances. This operation is the result of thorough profiling and intelligence-driven initiatives by both the NCS and the NDLEA. Our commitment is to thwarting illegal trade is unwavering, as directed by the CGC, Oshoba said. Here again, we keep having these reports of the imposition of hard drugs, and it's becoming a very big constant. Well, I also thank God that like we've always recognized the efforts of the Comptroller General of Customs, Bashir Adewale Adeniyi, so has been yielding fruits. I know last year in a press parley that I happened to be involved in, it talks about the collaboration, the international collaborations they have with other customs, countries' customs agencies, and I think this is part of it for them to be able to get information that this ship had moved from one country to the other, and to those countries where, of course, there's this report of drugs coming out from. It's very commendable that they put in such efforts in order to unravel such illicit trade.
No, but I think a lot needs to be done. I think that some nations, some countries are not doing what they're supposed to do. The question we should be asking: how did the drug get on board? How did it get on board and find its way to its final destination? Yes, the Nigerian Customs Service and all the other agencies have been doing a lot to curb the menace of drug infiltration into the country, but these countries where they're coming from, what are they doing? Are they sleeping?
You know that, like somebody said, there are criminals everywhere, even in the best of societies. Even the Bible says that every city has its thieves and prostitutes. So in every situation, in every society, you must have good and bad people,
No, I totally.
and the bad people will always do
No,
things to try to
I
circumvent the
totally
law.
agree with you. But my argument is the fact that let them nip it in the bud before it gets into the shores of Nigeria. All right, Comptroller Frank Onyeka remains steadfast in his core responsibilities of revenue generation, anti-smuggling operations, and trade facilitation. Comptroller Frank Onyeka remains steadfast in his core responsibility of revenue generation, anti-smuggling operations, and trade facilitations, rakes in 1.45 trillion in November 2025. He receives two excellent performance awards from the Comptroller General of Customs (CGC) for being the best in corporate social responsibility (CSR) and the role he played in the introduction of B. Udugu. This revenue figure shows a significant improvement over 120 billion generated in the corresponding period 2024. In all, Comptroller Frank Onyeka, who said the command has recorded a total sum of 1.4 trillion from January to November 2025, also attributed this impressive performance to unwavering commitment to efficiency, transparency, and accountability. Condemning the smuggling activities, the Customs Area Controller, Frank Onyeka, said, during the period under review, the command has made several seizures of illicit substances such as cannabis, indica, methamphetamine, and other hard drugs concealed in some containers imported into the port. He reported to be a competent administrator who keyed into trade tools of advanced ruling system and the authorized economic operator AEO program for trade efficiency. By virtue of the position of the controller Frank Onyeka occupies, he's a man who is fearless, dogged, pace-setter, who constantly plans to take Tinkan Island Customs Command to the next level. His selfless performance and ambition have brought him recognition. What is significant about him is the fact that he keeps strengthening the robust working relationship among agencies of government for peaceful working environment to promote revenue generation and block revenue loopholes and leakages. I mean, I give it to Frank. Frank has done wonderfully well. He has shown the tenacity that is required to run a port as busy as the Tinkan. And congratulations to him and his team for
Yes.
the award.
Yeah. Actually, there's a small information missing there in that report. For November 2025, the amount made the generated revenue is 135 billion naira. That's for November of 2025. 135 billion 210,533 135 billion 210 million 533,902 naira point 89 kobo. That's the figure for November 2025. The 120,000 naira 120,000 billion is the corresponding amount realized in 2024. So that is a revenue generated, which means that they've generated more than they did in November of 2024. And the year they've gotten about 1.45 trillion naira from January to November, which is quite impressive. It's never been done in that command before, and then the able controller keeps performing impressively. In other news, ex-minister warns maritime challenges slowing Nigeria's blue economy. The former Interior Minister, Captain Emmanuel Iheanacho, says persistent problems in Nigeria's maritime and blue economy sector continue to hinder revenue growth and efficiency. Iheanacho, a retired merchant navy captain, listed aging infrastructure, dependence on road haulage, and weak private sector involvement as major obstacles. He spoke at the Maritime Reporters Association of Nigeria Maran book launch on the 50 drivers of Nigeria's marine and blue economy held in Lagos on Thursday. The launch celebrated innovators and institutions steering Nigeria's marine economy and shaping national maritime progress. Ihana just said 2025 began with a landmark policy that reset the nation's approach to developing its coastal and inland waters. The policy became a compass guiding maritime trade, aquaculture, blue tourism, and clean ocean energy while promising new jobs, he said. He added that experts projected annual earnings of 44 billion dollars, but warned that only strong governance and real private sector partnerships can unlock this potential. He said the government had moved to rebuild Apapa and Tinkan ports, which procurement advancing for the long neglected eastern ports. With procurement advancing for the long neglected eastern ports. Yeah, I think that last point he made there is it's vital. The eastern ports have over time have been neglected. I know viewers, listeners always call in to talk about why those ports have not been given attention as needed.
Yeah,
those places need to be given attention.
It's in the news. We will come to it. It's in the news where I think Lagos State government is also being criticized for the position they are taking.
Yes, yeah. against the war report being developed. Yeah.
KLT Customs Command records smooth leadership transition as new acting Customs Area Controller resumes duty. The Kurikiri Lighter Terminal, KLT Command of the Nigerian Customs Service on Friday, December 5th, 2025, conducted a formal handing over and taking over ceremony, marking the assumption of office by the newly posted Acting Customs Area Controller, Deputy Controller B.L. Adigun. He took over from Assistant Controller General E.J. Erdodok following her appointment into the management team of the service. The ceremony held at the Command's Conference Hall brought together senior officers, representatives of partner agencies, and key stakeholders who convened to witness a smooth and orderly transition of leadership in line with customs administrative tradition. In a handing over remark, ACG Erdodok expressed profound gratitude to the Controller General of Customs and the management team for the privilege to have served at KLT. She described her tenure as fulfilling and impactful, noting that the progress recorded at the command was made possible through teamwork, professionalism, and the consistent support of officers and stakeholders. She urged everyone to extend the same cooperation and loyalty to the incoming Customs Area Controller. In his acceptance speech, the Acting Customs Area Controller, Deputy Controller B.L. Adigun, thanked the Controller General of Customs for the confidence reposed in him. He commended ACG Erdodok for her exemplary and results-driven leadership and assured stakeholders of his determination to continue to consolidate and build on the achievements of the command. He stated that his administration would prioritize revenue generation, trade facilitation, anti-smuggling efforts, and operational integrity. He called for continuous collaboration with stakeholders and charged officers to remain disciplined, focused, and committed to the service's mandate. With the assumption of office of new Acting Customs Area Controller, the Kurikiri Lighter Terminal Command looks forward to sustained progress, strengthened partnership, and enhanced service delivery going forward. I mean, it was quite interesting because I was there.
Okay.
And I'll tell you that the outgoing controller, who is now an ACG. Joy Erdodok, she really took the command to another height. Okay. And I believe that it was what the CG saw and the management team saw and said, no, this woman
deserves
needs to be given
elevation.
Yeah, and that's why she promoted to ACG. And we hope that she will do better in moving the Nigerian customs forward. And for the incoming Bolaji Adigun is quite a gentleman, and I see him surpassing what Frank Onyeka is doing in Tinkan.
Yeah.
Yes, I see him. Yes.
that's a big one. Let's hope so. My appointment as WCO chair, a honor and recognition for Nigeria, NCS, CG Customs. The chairperson of the World Customs Organization Council, Dr. Adewale Adeniyi, said his recent election signals a broader recognition of the growing reform-driven credibility of African customs administrations, with Nigeria's recent modernization efforts serving as a strong example of the continent's readiness to influence global customs policies. Speaking exclusively on WCO Global Interview Session, Adeniyi said the confidence expressed in him by member nations reflects not only personal honor, but also the significant progress made by Nigeria in aligning its systems, procedures, and priorities with international best practices. Answering questions on the WCO flagship interactive forum tagged the Customs Exchange, Conversations with Global Customs Leaders, Adeniyi, who is also Comptroller General of the Nigerian Customs Service, said, "It's a kind of endorsement by the global customs community that we're on track. We have been undertaking reforms and modernization programs in the last 2 years, and this validates the direction we are taking," he said. He noted that Africa's customs landscape is rapidly changing, with several administrations leveraging WCO guidance to strengthen trade facilitation, improve revenue outcomes, and enhance border security. Nigeria's experience, he said, demonstrates how structured reforms supported by international frameworks can reposition our national customs service. Yes, talking about the election of Dr. Adeniyi as the WCO chairman in council, it's of course we know it's well worth it. I mean, he earned that right to be the chairman of council because he's introduced a whole lot of reforms within the sector, and since he took over as the CGC of the Nigerian Customs Service, it's been moving the agency from the hitherto low moral agency to one with staff that have high morale in terms of the work ethics, the cooperation within amongst the officers, and the modernization processes that he has introduced. Each time he keeps improving, re-improving, improving, and it's Nigeria is going to benefit a whole lot from this wealth of experience.
Yeah, Dilly, I totally agree with you that the CG has he's done wonderfully well. He's a man of reform, and he's really putting that in the front burner. But I still have a slight issue with every reform. The drivers must be ready to drive it. You know.
And the stakeholders must be educated about what it's all about.
So I think that there needs to be more stakeholders' involvement in these reforms. The BOW is settling, but it still has its problem. The National Open Window
will soon come in.
So there needs to be more. I know they're saying March, but we need to have serious stakeholders' involvement. And then I think it is high time that the CG needs to define the status of KLT, because you can't have a KLT as a command, and they can't move containers on Transaya. So you find every controller in KLT needs to go to Apapa and go to Tinkan to beg for them to release containers to them. So we keep asking, is KLT a command or a bonded warehouse? And I think that it's time the CG comes out, because there are a lot of people who have their terminals attached to KLT, and so when they don't have business to do, they spend so much money, putting their terminals together. So I think the CG needs to look into it. He really needs to look into it, because also part of the reforms he's making, so that let KLT be treated as a full company, because you have officers, men and officers of the custom service working there, collecting salary. So if you don't allow jobs
so
to get to them,
their pay.
they should earn their pay. Thank you. All right. Why Europe is blocking more Nigerian goods at its borders? Nigeria's exports continue to face repeated rejection in European Union markets, a challenge caused by consistent quality failures, weak regulatory enforcement, and heavy dependence on raw commodities. New trade figures further show that while export values expressed in naira have risen sharply, dollar earnings have continued to decline, undermining Nigeria's competitiveness abroad. Meanwhile, South Africa remains one of the African countries with the highest rate of export acceptance in Nigeria and the EU, highlighting the gaps between both economies, standards, and certification systems. According to data from International Trade Center (ITC), Nigeria's export earnings fell for a second consecutive year in 2024, dropping by 8.5% to 57.9 billion. The figure had already declined from 63.3 billion in 2022 to 60.65 billion in 2023. In naira terms, however, total exports rose from 26.8 trillion in 2022 to 36 trillion in 2023 and surged to 77.4 trillion in 2024. These increases reflect naira's steep depreciation, not an improvement in the volume of acceptance of Nigerian goods overseas. Yeah.
Yeah. This is, it doesn't look quite good for our goods to be, rejected in European countries. Um, from my little observation, my little finding, when it comes to agricultural products, we need to be a little bit more circumspect, and we should also try to meet the standard of packaging as required by these European countries, so that these goods will not be rejected there. And again, the issue of delays along the way, that cause some of these goods, because some of these goods are perishable goods. I know
Yeah,
farm produce that are
I
being.
think the delay is more from outside because
Yes.
you talk about documentation.
Yes, that's
you talk
what I'm
about
talking about.
yes,
Yeah, on the Nigerian, on the Nigerian
Nigerian
side,
side.
we should do the best we can so that these goods don't get rejected over
It
there.
boils down to the system. I mean, there are too many bottlenecks that are stopping and preventing these goods from leaving when they should leave. So the government needs to look into it in order to, in terms of, like I said, certification, documentation, even preservation, packaging. It's very important.
Yeah.
So I think government needs to come in and help exporters in order to meet international standards.
Moving on, court jails Narcos cargo manager for drug trafficking. This is a serious one. A cargo manager with the Nigerian Aviation Handling Company (PLC) (NACO), Adakole Sunday Oguche, has been convicted and sentenced to 3 years imprisonment. Adakole Sunday Oguche was sentenced for stealing and trafficking in 25 kilograms of ephedrine hydrochloride, a prohibited substance similar to cocaine and heroin. Oguche was convicted and sentenced by Justice Musa Kakaki of a Federal High Court, Lagos, while delivering judgment in a charge marked FHC/L/784C/2025, filed against him by the operatives of the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency (NDLEA). The prosecutor, Barrister Abu Ibrahim, during arraignment of the NACO's cargo manager, had informed the court that the convict committed the offenses on April 28, 2025 at NACO Import Shed, a customs area port of the Maritime Mohammed International Airport, Ikeja, Lagos. He also informed the court that the convict unlawfully possessed the prohibited drug from NACO's warehouse, which was imported by a pharmaceutical company, Vitabiotics Nigeria Limited. During the NACO's cargo manager's arraignment, he admitted that he committed the offenses and pleaded guilty to the 2 counts charge made against him. They come with, while admitted stealing the prohibited drug from narcos warehouse, equally admitted selling same for 15 million naira. Can you imagine that? It's like putting something in charge of someone, and then the person steals it and goes to sell it at a ridiculous amount of money. I mean, it's that's really terrible.
No, for me, it's not about the selling, but about the fact that he had the
Trust has been breached.
yes, the temerity to steal, and we're not talking just about any other staff.
A manager.
We're talking of a manager, a man with high responsibility. I am happy that the court has been able to find him guilty, but it brings us back to the issue of corruption in the system. Why is it that our politicians who sit on the wealth of some states will do the same thing and nothing happens to them?
You get away with it.
So we need to have an institution that treats crime as crime without
not minding who you are.
yes, and until we get there, we'll keep having problems. Nigeria advances national single window project, targets regional trade leadership. Nigeria's drive to strengthen its position as a regional trade hub has received a major boost as the national single window project enters an advanced implementation stage ahead of its scheduled rollout in March 2026. The national single window platform, internationally regarded as a key tool for simplifying and harmonizing cross-border trade processes, is currently undergoing active testing and configuration. Speaking recently at the Maritime Correspondents Organization of Nigeria, MARCON, retreat in Lagos, Ayokun Oyeniyi, head of change and stakeholders management for NSW, said the system's benefits will be immediately felt once it goes live. Delivering a presentation titled Maximizing Emerging Technologies for Sustainable Import and Export Trade, Oyeniyi, who represented the executive chairman of the Federal Inland Revenue Service, Dr. Zach Adedeji, at the event described the current progress as a turning point, noting that this is the first time Nigeria has produced a functional version of the platform for public and institutional review. He explained that the NSW is designed as a central digital platform enabling importers, exporters, and other trade operators to submit all required documentation once, giving all relevant government agencies simultaneous access. The system, he said, will reduce duplication, shorten processing times, minimize manual paperwork, and improve visibility across the regulatory chain. The system is being developed to surpass regional benchmarks, even as countries such as Ghana have operated similar systems for over a decade. When fully operational, the NSW is expected to cut cargo clearance time to under 24 hours, reduce export processing duration, lower business costs, and improve transparency across agencies. It will enhance customs risk management and streamline overlapping functions among regulatory institutions, including the Standard Organization of Nigeria, SON, and the National Agency for Food and Drug Administration and Control, NAFDAC, removing long-standing bottlenecks that drive up business costs. I mean, for me, anything that would ensure that importers and exporters don't pay demurrage is a welcome development.
Yeah.
And I think this is what the NSW stands for.
Yeah.
And we hope that its implementation will not give us glitches and will not cause more pain for Nigerians, but we will be able to provide a channel where things will work seamlessly without anybody having to carry paperwork from one table to another.
Yeah, this is coming into effect from next year, March. And like you raised an issue a moment ago when we were talking about the CGC's appointment as the chairman in council of WCO. The issue you raised was about educating the stakeholders and making them to be totally aware of the programs that are being introduced. I think this is an area where the National Single Window Project people are doing quite fantastically well. I've been involved in one or two of their sessions where at different fora where they try to educate people and get them to be ready for the launch of the national single window. It's quite commendable. The NSC recovers 2.06 billion naira, resolved 26 cases in third quarter. The Nigerian Shippers Council (NSC) said it recovered over 2.059 billion naira for shippers through interventions handled by its complaints unit in the third quarter of 2025. The recovery, achieved through alternative dispute resolution mechanisms, reflects the Council's sustained drive to protect shippers from arbitrary charges and operational infractions within the maritime sector. The Council had earlier announced that it successfully saved shippers over 175.8 billion naira and $30,000 in the second quarter of 2025 through its interventions in complaints lodged by stakeholders in the nation's maritime industry. According to the Council's Q3 progress report, the complaints unit received 46 complaints from stakeholders across maritime supply chain during the period, out of which 26 cases were successfully resolved. The remaining cases, the Council noted, are undergoing further scrutiny due to incomplete documentation and the need for verification from relevant agencies. The complaints handled during the quarter covered a wide range of industry challenges, including disputes over container deposit refunds, demurrage and detention charges, arbitrary billing, cargo damage, missing containers, documentation errors, regulatory delays, and non-delivery of cargo. The report highlighted that the NSC's interventions were driven by its statutory mandate to ensure fairness in import operations, enhance service delivery, and protect cargo owners and service providers from exploitative practices. Through the deployment of its alternative dispute resolution (ADR) mechanism, the Council said it prevented several disputes from escalating into litigation, thereby saving stakeholders from both money and time. Well, if this report is, if the Shippers Council is saying that it saved the operators within the maritime sector this humongous amount of money, it shows, the willingness to continue to
when we look at the number
of people.
When we look at the number of practitioners within the industry, and you're telling us that all you just got was 46 complaints, and you're only to resolve 26. I mean, I don't know. I honestly, because we hear a lot of people complaining every day with what they're going through with shipping lines and all of that. So,
yes, you see, my man, that thing you said before is also very relevant again in this case. What a lot of people do not know is that there is a body like the Shippers Council that it should take care of their problems.
The Shippers Council should make themselves available. You can't be an organization or an agency of government and nobody hears about you. Those who are within your industry don't even know you. So they should make themselves available. It's very important. All right, Nigeria's economy must not be held hostage by Lagos. The recent outburst from Lagos State government against Nigerian Ports Authority (NPA) over its decision to strengthen operations at the Warri Port Complex is not only misplaced, but a dangerous trend that reveals a deeper, tribalized mindset that has long plagued Nigeria's economic discourse. Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu's administration, through its aides, has once again demonstrated an obsession with Lagos dominance, cloaked in the language of strategic advantage, while dismissing the legitimate aspirations of other regions. This much was revealed by the League of Maritime Editors, LOM, who feel strongly embarrassed by the vituperation of Governor Sanwo-Olu over the decentralization of port operations to Warri. The idea of Lagos being Nigeria's economic destiny should be reevaluated. Indeed, Nigeria is a federation and not a fiefdom. The idea that Lagos alone must remain the unrivaled commercial gateway is both arrogant and unsustainable. The diversion of cargo to Warri is not a bad aid, as Lagos officials claim. It is a necessary corrective to the decades of imbalance. The South-South and the Southeast regions, rich in oil, gas, and human capital, have been systematically marginalized in the distribution of economic infrastructure. Why should Warri, Port Harcourt, or Calabar not enjoy the same level of investment and patronage as Apapa? Why must the Igbo traders or Niger Delta entrepreneurs be forced to funnel their commerce through Lagos, enriching one state while impoverishing others? True federalism demands equity in production, distribution, and growth. Lagos cannot continue to monopolize Nigeria's maritime lifeline. I mean, I totally agree with this.
Totally.
I think the governor goofed on this. He got it totally wrong, and he should retrace his steps, because we keep talking about unity, one nation, one Nigeria, and you find the governor saying you can't develop other areas just because of the interest of his own state.
Everybody is actually preaching decentralization, and that is, should also include the ports, the activities at the ports being decentralized. You can't have, besides, because of the quantity of business being done in Lagos through the Lagos ports, it's causing a whole lot of congestion on the roads, on the infrastructure, a whole lot of pressure within the system. So there's the need for other ports to be allowed to function properly.
All right. To our listeners, it's still the Maritime and Border show. And we're just giving you the news. We're going to go into the segment where we discuss why we're here, and we're going to be talking on the issue of gridlock, which is going to be based more on somersault of policies. Who do we hold responsible? Is it the truckers? Is it the transporters? Or are we going to be holding government responsible? Dilly?
Yeah, of course. When it comes to policy, of course, we know who to hold responsible there. It's the government, of course. But the policy is one thing. Implementation is another thing. And in implementation, of course, we have both the government and both the government and the individual stakeholders who properly acquit themselves with the way it is implemented, or choose to do go the wrong way. And today we have to know what's on the mind of a stakeholder, a practitioner, a leader of men within the transport sector, in the maritime sector. And he is Mr. Deyinka Reun. He's the president of COMTUA, the Council of Maritime Truck Owners and Maritime Truck Unions and Associations. Mr. Reun, you are welcome to the program, sir.
Yes, thank you very much. Thank you for having me.
Yeah.
The name of the association is Council of Maritime Transport Unions and Association,
COMTUA.
Not
Yeah.
truck owners, transport unions.
Okay.
And association.
All right.
You need to face us.
So, you're welcome to the show, sir. This is the Maritime and Border Show.
Thank you.
We talk about everything maritime on this show, and the issues the things that happen at the borders. Now, my colleague started the other time by saying that you guys cause a whole lot of issues on the road. That you park your trucks wrongly? What's your reaction to that? Let me start with that.
Yeah, thank you very much. Nobody wants to lose his or her property. Therefore, even if you have your car, you always work towards ensuring that you have a parking lot for your car, even in your house. Therefore, there is no truck you find on the road that is not destined for somewhere. Why is on that road is because it's either going to load a cargo, offload a cargo, or enroute his garage. And if you find it stationary, it means something is definitely holding him there. And basically, on the port corridors, what holds truck there is the field policy and inaccessibility of our trucks into the ports. So we don't just park on the road. We have our garages, we have where we park our trucks, and we are on the road because we want to go and do our businesses. And what we see on the road is actually gridlock, not that trucks are just coming to park.
Okay, you blame part of it on the policy. Could you throw more light on that?
Yes. When the intention of government or the policy makers is devoid of the genuineness in solving problems, then you always have these issues. I come to the issue of traffic gridlock. Insincerity. I talk about issue of gridlock. People mix so many things.
Okay.
When you have congestion in the port. And when you have gridlock, it is on the road. Therefore, you don't blame us for congestion in the port. You rather blame the system. It has to do with cargo handling.
Okay.
Now, when you are talking of gridlock, yes, we are involved. And the policy is what is really making it difficult, because the policy is only targeted at revenue generation and not solving any problem. I call the claim of TTP, I call it a theft of achievement.
How so, sir?
I mean, they are just, it's a theft of credit. When TTP will say, yes, we have been able to reduce the traffic gridlock by so and so, it's a theft of credit. What was the cause of this gridlock? There are basically 3 causes of this gridlock. 1, the road failed entirely. There was almost no road from the port in Apapa to Ijora, and from the port in Tinkan to Mile 2. The road failed, and naturally, if there is a failed road, you expect congestion.
Yeah.
That was between 2015 and 2019.
Yeah.
And it took the intervention of a tripartite arrangement of the federal government, some private companies, and the Nigerian Ports Authority to fix the road into a concrete road. Now the road is free, which means natural.
The road is concrete, not free.
No. I'm coming.
Let's say motorable.
It's motorable. It's motorable.
No, he's saying it was made of concrete.
No, I know.
I mean, it is now free from the failed status we get
it was before.
So, it is natural. You will expect that if the traffic gridlock was, let us attach a value to it, let us attach numbers to it. If it is 80%, you will expect that since the road has been completed, it will naturally drop to about 50%. There's no doubt about it.
50 is too. I mean, if the road has been fixed, we shouldn't even have gridlocks.
It is not only the road. We have 3 factors. I've mentioned one.
No, I understand.
So, I've mentioned one. If 3 factors brings the problem to 80%, the road alone has reduced it by 30%.
Okay.
We now have another 50%.
Yeah.
And this 50%, let us now divide it into 2. 1, for a long time, we only have the road as the medium of transporting cargo in and out of the port.
Yeah.
Now we have so many modes of doing that. We now have the barge operators, we now have the railways, and you can see that this has also taken about 20% away from the pressure. And in the third place, before now, there was no holding bay functioning. If you load a cargo out of the port, you are expected to return the same container to the port. It means all the trucks going out of the port and the new ones coming in are also destined to go back to the port at about the same time. Now what we have is, the law is you don't return empty containers to the port. You return it to holding bays outside. We have Max Line with about 3 or 4 holding bays outside. You don't go back to the port with your containers. You have MSC and the rest of them. They all have it here and there outside. And it is the same for cargoes. You have barge operators moving containers and general cargo to various bonded warehouses, very close to where you have a sea or something like that. We have it in Ikorodu, we have it in Ekpe, we have it almost every part of Lagos. You can now see the reason why the congestion on that road has been reduced drastically. However, it can be reduced to zero if we have a genuine policy. Now, the Nigerian Port Authority, instead of concentrating on solving this problem, they are interested in revenue generation, illicit revenue generation. For example, I am a truck owner and I want to go and load a truck belonging to an importer. Should I remind you that this cargo I'm going to carry has paid for all the dues that is expected, including terminal handling charges, which is for Nigerian Ports Authority.
Yeah.
If we have paid for shipping duties, all terminal and NPA charges,
All the statutory charges.
I emphasized NPA charges because it means that NPA is being paid for a job to be done.
Yeah.
Now the owner now gives me a TDO to go and load this job. NPA is now saying before I go into the port, I must pay to NPA through TTP to come into the port.
A private organization.
Where on earth, apart from Nigeria, is this happening? Where? Now, because they want to generate this revenue, you can just hear, let's do a simple calculation, even though they are not sincere. They said we have done over 3 million trips, and you are charging more than 20,000 naira per trip. Isn't that 60 billion naira? So the interest is on that money.
Okay, sir. Hold on. Just hold your
The fire.
Yes. Let me ask you this question. It's one thing for all of us to blame the NPA, to blame the TPP. When this ATO call-up system was being introduced, were you people not carried along?
I'll give you. I'm getting there. We are not even concerned about. There's nobody that is against digitalizing the port or electronic way of doing things. We all support this idea. The only caveat is Nigerian Port Authority, you cannot handle this effectively. I'll tell you why. Let me give you one of the examples. If I book on Metro now that I'm going to, for example, Epimola, I pay for the booking, 10,000 naira. Now they will ask me, are you going there to drop an empty container? And I'll tell them, yes, I'm going to drop an empty container on behalf of the shipping company. You have to pay to match this container to your truck. You pay another 10,000 naira, which means my truck, KRD 300 XT, is going to load container VOP 90.3. Now, what this means is that there is a communication between TTP and the terminal that I'm bringing this container on ABC day. Now explain to me. You now get to the entrance of this terminal, they will tell you we are not expecting 40-feet container this week, which means the truck will be on the road for the next 1 week till the terminal is ready to receive the 40-feet container. It means there's a disconnect between the terminal and TTP. That is why we are telling you it is not going to work. The terminal operators should be the one that will prepare a call-up to tell me to bring their container. And at this instance, they will not be able to say we are not accepting because they are already expecting it. So when you now find these trucks on the road because they are not accepting their containers in the terminal, you find them on the road. There's no way you go back because
what's the reason for the lacuna? Is it lack of communication, or is it that they are not really working,
No, or is it that somebody wants to make money somewhere?
No.
Okay.
What's the problem, sir?
It is purely because the Nigerian Ports Authority want to generate illicit revenue. It is fraud. I'll give you this. Let me say I am a terminal operator. The name of my terminal is Adeyinka. I am expected to offload from vessels into my shed, arrange my terminal, load cargoes, and offload empty containers. Of course, as an entrepreneur, I will organize my schedule.
Yeah.
And if I organize my schedule, it may be on my schedule that on Monday, I don't receive empty containers. You don't force me to do that. And you don't say because you want to generate revenue, you have to push containers to my terminal against my schedule. And that is exactly what the Nigerian Ports Authority seems to be doing. Don't forget, all these terminals were operated by Nigerian Port Authority in the past.
Yeah.
It is inefficiencies that brought about these arrangements such that private enterprises now owns terminals. Okay, now I have a 6 flats. I will now determine when my tenant will receive a visitor, what visitor you are receiving. It doesn't work out like that. It doesn't work. What I'm saying is the terminal operators should be the ones to determine the color. However, there is a common area managed by the Nigerian Ports Authority. I'm talking of in terms of haulage now, in terms of trucking. These common areas because of this common area, each terminal will now submit their schedule to Nigerian Ports Authority that we are expecting 100 trucks today. This one we say we are expecting 200 trucks. It is on this that the Nigerian Ports Authority will admit trucks into these common areas. It is not that you will just say, okay, Mr. Tommy, whatever you are doing today, you must offload the 40 feet of empty container. It doesn't work. So our own is we want things digitalized. We want the terminal operators to be able to communicate with MPA without necessarily using papers, through telecommunication or computer, to say, okay, we are expecting truck number A, B, C, and D. It's not that the Nigerian Ports Authority will accept trucks on their booking, 50,000 truck on their booking, and be pushing same to ports, to terminals that is not even expecting up to 5,000 of these trucks. There's a disconnect, and it cannot work. That is on one hand. On another hand, favoritism. I challenge anybody to come and say that if this process of TTP is followed, your truck can visit the port more than 2 times in a month. It's not possible.
Yeah.
There's no truck except the special people, trucks owned by personnel of MPA, TTP, discreetly through some of our people, except those, and the ones that are branded in military color, claiming they are moving military equipment. While we have challenged military, and military said we only have 16 trucks, and you have these trucks numbering about 500, except those. Outside that, genuine business people making a booking for TTP, you cannot do more than 2 trips in a month.
So how do they survive?
That is where we are. Now we will now see compromises, you will now see racketeering, and that is what we are doing. Okay, for example, put yourself in our shoes. An average truck, CNG now will cost about 150 million. If you are getting one for a 5-year term, it means you pay an average of 4 million naira per month for 5 years. And you can only work 2 times in a month. How do you survive this? And that is why you see our drivers, our truck owners showing desperation, and they're trying to compromise to be able to survive. It is that difficult. It is that bad. In another way, let me tell you some other things we are facing. There is invasion in our industry.
Invasion by who?
Invasion by foreigners. Invasion by foreigners. There is cabotage law that limits the investment of foreigners to shipping.
Yeah.
And terminals. However, the same company owns the ship, the vessel owns the container. They now own the trucks. To the extent that they determines. See, I'll tell you, we have a shipping company that has over 1,000 trucks. The same shipping company.
A foreign shipping company.
Of course.
No, sorry. Now that you're talking about the implosion of the foreigners into the industry.
Not implosion, invasion.
Okay, the invasion of foreigners into the industry. What has the Nigerian Shippers Council done? Because they are regulators.
The economic regulators of the maritime sector.
Have you guys approached them, and what have they done for you guys?
Nigerian Port Authority to me is
Nigerian
Shippers Council, NSC to me,
yeah,
is existing on papers. When you call somebody the economic regulator, they determines who pays what for how much you pay for what. For this TTP thing, is the tariff determined by the Nigerian Shippers Council? Is Nigerian Shippers Council regulating anything? And for this invasion, how many times have we reported to the Nigerian Shippers Council?
Have you actually reported?
Have you actually reported? Do you have evidence of your report?
Of course.
Can we see it? Because we would like to put it out there.
Of course. I can tell you this.
You know why we're saying this? Each time guests like you come here and they have issues which we believe should be resolved by the regulator, they always say, oh, you go to Shippers Council, you don't get relief. You just saw the report we read. Yeah. Shippers Council said they resolved, out of 46, they resolved 26 cases. And they are beating their chest and saying, oh, they've done so well. And, that's why I asked the question that if we look at the maritime and blue economy, for instance, we look at the various people that are participating in it, and I'm asking, how come only 46 complaints in a quarter?
It then means that there's still a lacuna somewhere. Is it that you guys are not actually doing the right in communicating with them, or that your communication gets lost along the way? Which one is it?
We have to be sincere with ourselves. As a regulator, let us even start from their own position. There are 46 complaints. Are there complaints that are not supposed to be resolved?
Well, they say some of them have documentation issues and all of that.
So what I'm saying is, are you now telling us that all this while that we have been complaining, this is not the first interview that Comtua is granting. And we have always been calling out Nigerian Shippers Council as a weak regulator. They do next to nothing about important things. I am telling you that we have been mentioning this invasion for over 5 years now. How can a small-scale business person survive? How can? You can. A lot of complaint about our trucks. You just mentioned here that Lagos State government is
it's trying to strangulate. It's trying to say you cannot
they are kicking against other ports being developed.
That is not correct. You have misinterpreted the position of Lagos.
We didn't. No, that is news.
I am telling you. I am telling you that is not the position.
So what is Lagos?
The position of Lagos is that for MPA is trying to frustrate the efforts of Lagos State government in doing business in Lagos. To be able to develop an excuse into moving into other places. As a matter of fact, we are happier that business and port activity is happening all over elsewhere. Nigeria. Even if you choose to divert cargoes to anywhere, it doesn't affect Lagos in any way, because you have a lot of vessels waiting
on the sea
to bat. And the fact that some of these vessels are going either to Port Harcourt or to Warri does not still mean that others are not coming into Lagos. And the fact that the vessel is batting in Warri does not mean that some of these products are not ultimately coming into Lagos. Lagos is not disturbed by this.
Did you no, sir? Let us not mislead Nigerians. Did you listen to what the governor said?
It is not the governor. It is a state. I'm coming. I have a personal interaction with the senior special assistant to the governor, Azan Adekoya. He is the author of this statement. What he's saying is that the Nigerian Port Authority have failed in its responsibility to ensure that there is an enabling business environment in Lagos.
No. So if you say that, you would also agree with me that we know that when it comes to this industry, we know that Apapa, and even Lekki, they're working on Lekki right now. So anybody saying that Nigerian Ports Authority has not done, is not being sincere to Nigeria.
No,
You are not.
so let me explain
You are
the
not getting where I'm coming from.
Let him
Please,
explain the area.
let me tell you. We mentioned, we reiterated this traffic gridlock and congestion.
Yeah.
And the Nigerian Port Authority is not sincere about it. Nigerian Port Authority will come and tell you we have solved the problem of traffic gridlock. But you and I know that Apapa is still not free for traffic. What is Nigerian Port Authority doing about it? It is a deliberate thing to frustrate businesses in Lagos. I am telling you, what is wrong with saying, okay, how do we solve this problem? Stakeholders, genuine stakeholders, let us address it. And we have mentioned to you, Nigerian Port Authority, you have no business with call-up system. You have no business with call-up system. Convince me that it is TTP that they are using in Port Harcourt. Is it TTP that is operating in Lekki? Is it? It's not. That service provider has not been able to do anything, and NPA is not sincere about it. It is 5 years into a 5 years contract of TTP.
But sir, that is why I asked you that question. When the issue of TTP came up,
Yes.
before the contract was signed, before they were asked to take over, were you people not informed? Did you not participate in stakeholders meeting with Nigerian Ports Authority to agree on the way forward?
Thank you. We did. This is it. But what we all agreed is not what they are doing.
Okay.
It's not what they are doing. We agreed the terminal operators should be directly involved in the call-up system.
Okay. That was your recommendation.
That was our recommendation. Agreement.
Okay.
However, you don't need this proliferation of garages, bringing your friends and cronies to say you have approved garage A, you have approved garage B, and all sorts of things.
Go on.
These garages that they have approved, as I speak with you, I challenge you to go to Foru in Ojota, go to Sodiq in Kirikiri, and go to all these garages. Are they actually existing? Are they functioning? They are not functioning. What we told them is come. It is very, very simple. We don't need anybody's garage. We have our own garage. You say it's automated. Fantastic. If I am booking, let me know what time I should leave my garage for the port. We agree to all of this. The whole thing is not supposed to be more than, say, 3,000 or 5,000 naira. However, I started increasing from 10,000 to 20,000 to 30,000. And there is no way our export can ever be competitive outside Nigeria because of this double handling problem. Nigerian Export Council already has export processing terminals where before you move your export from Shagamu, you have processing terminal here and there. Now when these trucks are coming with the exports, NPA is now saying before you are able to book a call-up, you must enter into another processing terminal in Lagos. Double handling. It is expected that they will now remove these cargoes. Custom will then inspect. Custom has already inspected in one terminal, in one processing terminal. This one, because it is NPA that is now registering the processing terminal, you must start the process of processing the cargoes
Two
again.
agents of the same federal government.
Of course, double handling, and the delay of 1 or 2 weeks on perishable goods. What do you expect?
And these are the reasons why they are.
These are the reasons they have been rejected. We see, if you have, for example, there's almost nothing we don't export, but it is not acceptable because some of these things, they need to leave this country as soon as now and remain fresh from where they are. Don't deceive yourself. As you are moving cocoa from Lagos, they are moving it from Ghana.
Yeah, Ivory Coast.
They are moving it from Ivory Coast.
Even Cameroon.
Theirs takes few days to get to the destination. Ours takes weeks. Even here, before leaving here, weeks before leaving here. So what do you expect? So it is Nigerian Port. So what the special advisor, the senior special advisor was saying is that Nigerian Ports Authority should not frustrate activities of the Lagos state government because they want to develop other areas. Nobody will say Nigerian Port Authority should not develop other areas. We are also willing that these areas are developed because we can also benefit from other businesses in Lagos through this area. What he is saying is you have a mandate to ensure that what you have pushed out as a policy, that the Lagos state government is trying to give you a hand, because the enforcement unit of this call-up system lies on Lagos State Traffic Management Authority, LASMA.
So it's supposed to be a tripartite.
It is. But even as much as LASMA is doing, or the police is doing, the Nigerian Port Authority is frustrating it there, because it's their themselves and their cronies that wishes to enjoy this alone. And
okay, sir, while we were reading out the news, I'm sure you heard what the managing director of TTP was saying.
Jamal Omubuari.
Yes, was aligning the major achievements and the next step in the company's ongoing collaboration with the Nigerian Ports Authority, the Lagos State government, to manage truck traffic in and around the Papa and Tinkan Island ports. So we know that their agreement with Nigerian Ports Authority is coming to an end. I'm sure you're aware of that. With what you're saying, it's more like saying that agreement should not be renewed because they have not performed.
There are three things. One, you and I know that the traffic gridlock on Napapa has not gone. And it is 5 years into a 5 years contract, which means you are not performing. If you challenge them that this traffic on the road, they will say, no, our own business is purely digitalized. We are not the ones on the road. We are not the ones on the road. We just issue call-up. Failure to understand that there are trucks with genuine call-up at the entry of the port whose code has been used by another truck.
How is that possible?
How is that possible?
TTP. They are the ones. We have trucks coming out of the port that will say you cannot exit the port. They will say, why? But this same code has been used by another truck. It is the racketeering, it is the corruption. And this still lead to further...
Does it mean that they clone the documents or what?
It's not. This old TTP arrangement is a charade, it's fraud. I tell you for free, it's fraud. Okay, let me give you one. If you make transfer from one bank to the other, do you pay up to 10%? Do you pay up to 7%?
Of course, just a tiny amount of money.
A tiny amount of money. You pay 780 naira on every 10,000 naira you put into your wallet with TTP.
That's about 7% of the total.
I tell you that for free. I challenge them.
That's huge.
All right.
I challenge them.
Why are you challenging them? Hold on. So why this is the Maritime and Border Show.
The interactive sector.
And then this is VOP 90.3 FM. The darling station where we'll bring it to you hot and spicy. Like I said, this is an interactive program. We're going to be opening our phone lines because the lines have been buzzing since. I'm sure people want to ask questions, truck owners, terminal owners. Everybody wants to ask questions. So our lines will be open on 0700 903 903 903. We
also have 0817 175 6338.
0803692 You can reach us on WhatsApp. You can call us direct, and we're sure to attend to you.
Of course, you know that this program is open for sponsorship.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon. Your first caller.
Mr. Chilaka. Good afternoon, sir. My name is Robert. I greet everybody in the studio.
We greet you.
I can't hear you, but I believe that you guys are listening to me.
Yes.
This issue that your guest spoke about, I am a witness to it. I told you, I'll be telling you people that I work around the port for over 17 years, and I know majorly how they operate over there. It's not lying. This issue, when you come in with it, the people at the gate, they will take that paper, they will scan it over the machine for the thing to open for your truck to enter to gain entry into the port. So why coming out that is supposed to be both empty and easy. Sometimes the truck may spend overnight or maybe to the hand. But sometimes when you are coming out, the people over will tell you that tato has expired, another truck has used it. I have an issue with, because I'm a spy policeman, I have an issue with these people. Honestly, I drag them up to the port, that's PFSO. You understand? And it was a very serious argument that I would threaten to make sure I get them arrested. Until they said, okay, we should wait because my company is so around there, so our driver have an issue. I went there to sort it out. I wrote a petition. They said they want to call one people, the head of it. The man was just going around pressing machine until he said, okay, the vehicle can exit. If you don't stand, honestly, a lot of, I don't know, maybe it has changed. What I'm talking about now is about 2-3 years ago. You understand? So there's a lot of corruption going on in that port, as your man rightly said.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, sir. God bless you.
All right, sir. You can. We're talking about.
I asked you about what would you recommend that the contract be renewed?
I just mentioned one of the issues. I will limit what I can say here because the matter between TTP, MPA, and Comtua is a subject of litigation.
Okay, hold on your point, sir. Hello, good afternoon. Hello? Your name and where you're calling from, please.
Good afternoon. My name is BK Ekene Collins.
Okay.
Yes, I want to. Am I on to VOP, right?
Of course you are. Go on ahead.
Okay, good. Yes. First off, the position of the state government is that the Nigerian Ports Authority should not deliberately, in the guise of enhancing traffic, be compromising business in Lagos State. That was what the senior special assistant to the governor said. And I'm surprised how the news outlets and every other platform are using it to whip up tribal sentiments, to disregard what is being said. Then also, what the Nigerian Ports Authority, you asked the question whether we would have been informed or not. And let me still make it clear that the position of the union was an amount, not over 5,000 naira. But you know how the Nigerian Port Authorities work, divide and rule mechanism. There are so many stories attending that pricing arrangement, but it was agreed, the majority of the union agreed that about 5,000 should be pegged, not more than that. And in that 5,000, there should be a certain percentage to the union. That's how it's being done. But due to the drive for illicit financial gains by the Nigerian Port Authority, they felt the need to divide the unions, keep on spending up unions here and there for everybody to be challenging each other, and that is what is currently happening. And they look for excuses, and the gridlock is continuing. And whenever they want cover, they know the union to call, they know this person to call, and also this problem of export processing terminal. I am so let me register my displeasure with NAGAF. To register my displeasure with them. It is very unfortunate that we pay as much as over 50,000, 100,000, 150,000 for payment due for export processing terminal. The other time I called, I told you to make research on it. Export processing terminal, these guys are ripping us out. They are ripping us off. They are pressing on our throats. It's criminal what they are doing with these export processing terminals, and we pay this amount to access the port. And this money, they still go ahead to be remitted to the Nigerian Port Authority. It's still registered under ATO. And when you make complaints, when you talk, they will tell you, we are working with the Central Bank of Nigeria, CBN, we are working with Presidential Business Enabling Environment Committee, that's PBEC, all of them. They bring out all manner of big government agencies to claim that they have their consent. But these things are, who knows what they describe to these people? But these people are busy strangulating us. The little money that we are supposed to, pick up our businesses and make sure that our vehicles and our materials and are being ripped up by different means. And the funny thing is that there are plethora of excuses that they will give to you. There are plenty of excuses, image over impact. This is what has been currently happening. And if you ask me, we are not advanced to electronic call-up, sir. We are not advanced to electronic call-up. We want the digitalization of the seaport. So in such a way that we do not want any, we do not need any human interference. But what we have currently playing out in the seaport is pure criminality.
Thank you very much.
Whereby they attach financial gains in the sense that we want to shore up our revenue. Every agency is a revenue generating agency. Then lastly, Shippers Council. The other time I told you the only advantage I as an individual has ever benefited, if I can consider it as an advantage, is the rights and pocket that Shippers Council give whenever they call you for meeting. But trust me, as far as truckers are involved, they've done absolutely next to nothing for us. Absolutely nothing. Shippers Council will never do anything, but they will be the first to tell you, bring evidence that you've reached out to us, bring evidence that you've communicated with us, and all the rest. So it's very, very unfortunate. I know very soon one of the handlers will call your station. They will call, but I am challenging them. My name is Dickett and Economist. They've done absolutely next to nothing. All the emails I've ever sent to complaints and Shippers Council, they've never replied one, they've never attended to one, and I'm sure they will never attend to one. But they are always fast to come out to say this and that and this and that. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Yes.
There's while Mr. Dickey was speaking, he said something about your group demanding for a commission of whatever, the 5,000 that was originally agreed, that a percentage was supposed to be given to your group.
That's another topic.
No, but
the content of this discussion is the success.
No, because
I'm coming.
No, sir. If we are looking at the reasons why we're having issues.
No, it's not part of the reason we're having issues. It's not mentioned by D.K. Kene Collins. It's not even on the table. We are not discussing that. What we are discussing is we agreed on 5,000 naira. If we agreed on 5,000 naira, what are we paying 5,000 naira for? It means you want to communicate with the terminals on our behalf that our trucks are coming. Yeah. This is what they mean by the digitalization. Mm-hmm. Okay? If that is what it is, and for whatever agreement we reached, so be it. Now, one, I'll tell you something. If you are booking Eto, you first book a satellite pack, which means I'm leaving my garage to one of the approved garages, irrespective of where it is. My garage is in Ijesha. It is 4 kilometers to the port, straight road. However, there's no satellite park around me. I still have to book and go to one satellite park first.
Okay.
After that satellite park, I'll stay about 3 or 4 days there. I'll then book another brigade. Then I'll move to that brigade. From the brigade, they'll then call me to the port. That is if I'm loaded with either empty container or as a flatbed to go and load a cargo from the port.
Okay.
Which means a minimum of 10 days before getting to the port, at minimum. Now I'll give you this. If it is empty container, no issues, because we don't take empty containers to the port as individuals now. We do it on behalf of the shipping companies, yeah. Which means these empty containers are stacked here, and we now want them in the port.
From the holding base.
From the holding base, there's a schedule for that, so nobody worries about that. One, the empty container will stay about 10 days on my truck because of this process.
Who pays for the 10 days?
Nobody pays anybody a dime.
Then your truck becomes a holding bay.
It becomes another holding bay from one holding bay. But that is not even the issue. Now let me now come to the most interesting one. You as an importer now, you have completed your clearing, and you are expected to come and load this cargo this morning. You now hand your TDO over to me. Are you with me, sir?
I'm listening.
You are now handing your TDO over to me. Mr. Roy won't come and load my cargo at the port tomorrow morning. If I have to go through the process of Eto, it means in another 5 or 10 days I will not get to the port. And you are not willing to be paying 25,000 naira per day for detention. So what you do is, while I'm using your TDO to book my entry into the port, you give your TDO to another truck that is already
in the port.
In the port. My own truck will get there. The cargo is no longer available for me to carry. So many drivers will stay around to want to pick a cargo just the way somebody picked their own cargo. And this is what you see on the road. It means as you have paid for this TDO to be logged against your truck, the terminal operators are not aware. So even if any truck comes in, they load the truck and go. Now you have signed a 5 years contract. If you have signed a 5 years contract, it is 2 months to the end of the contract that you are now saying we need to put this in place. We need to put. So in the last 5 years, what have you done? You have only been the only thing that is digitalized in this process is the collection,
not service delivery.
Absolutely not. I'm telling you, we pay as much as 750 naira on every 10,000 naira.
Now, this thing you just said reminded me when Fashola was Minister for Power, and we found out that the discos were collecting monthly that service charge of 700 or so.
Meter maintenance.
Yes, whether they give you light or not.
Meter maintenance.
Nigerians paid that, and these people went home, smiled to their banks, and nothing happened.
You've said every month. I'm not saying every month. I said every 10,000. If I'm going to port today, I am going to fund my wallet 10,750. Now talk about.
That's a commission on the payment.
Of course,
still goes to the same set of people.
I don't care where it goes, but I don't know what kind of negotiation will tell me I'm paying 7.5% to transfer into my wallet. I am buying from you. I am now going to pay 7.5% to your banker.
More like POS.
POS charges to your banker, to your own banker.
All right. So in all of this, have you guys sat down with the Nigerian Ports Authority and with the TPP to discuss? TTP, sorry. You had
Ekene Collins. Nigerian Ports Authority and TTP, they have their own arrangements. If they are saying they are calling stakeholders, it will be strictly by invitation to people who will come and endorse their abnormalities.
No, when you say that, are you saying that they don't recognize your own organization, or they like he said, they have decimated the organizations?
No, it goes beyond that.
Because, sorry, follow up to his question. Yours, Comtour is supposed to be a kind of amalgamation of
collaboration.
Associations.
Yes.
So why wouldn't they deal with you guys?
It's not like they are not. See, this is it. They have a group of people they want to interface with. They are the ones that they are the lowest of the ladder in the unionism of trucking, that will just come and say we have endorsed what they have said. Do you understand? Yeah. They know that this category of people they are bringing in, I don't understand.
They don't really have a good stake.
More like psychophants?
People that they pay.
Psychophancy is one of it. Ignorance is another one. Deliberately they will pick them because of their level
did they give them money, or why would they do that?
Because of their level of the quality of education, the quality of personality.
Why is you have an organization that is well known? Why are you not taking time to create awareness amongst these same people you call psychophants?
See, they have been invited for an assignment. We have them everywhere. They have been invited for an assignment. They will execute that assignment to the latter. They are the ones that will tell you everything about TTP is correct, the road is free, even when an average Nigerian says that no, something is not right. The only road that is free, the freest of all, is Maritime to Tinkan. And you know why? There's no business in Tinkan anymore. MSC is already transferring his containers to various terminals vis-a-vis Ijora and Medlog in Abule Ado or somewhere. So everybody moves in that direction. What is left of Tinkan? Grimaldi is already in Mile 2 and in some other places. What is left of Tinkan? So you now see it is almost nothing. But in Apapa, where the real business is happening now, are they able to regulate? Are they able to control it? Are vehicles not queuing on the road? Do you have to queue on the road when you have your garage and you have booked on the call-up? Is that what happens in the normal society? And basically, the activities of TTP, I told you, is a subject of litigation. And part of our prayers in court is that TTP or MPA should not assume that a decision has been taken on behalf of truckers by a group of truckers that they have invited. We should be invited to hear our view on policies that will affect our business. TTP and MPA, they have their YESA people that they invite for break, just as he said.
No, sir. Going further, you have a lot of you guys in this business. Why is it that you find it's so difficult for you guys to actually have a common front in order to be able to, take care of some of the issues you are raising?
The stakes are high. I'm talking about a TTP that is generating 750 naira on 10,000 naira, and have done, if we go by this calculation, and they have done about 60-70 billion. 7% of 60-17 billion is huge. It is they have all the resources in this world to ensure that there is no unity in your organization.
Okay.
And this is exactly what they are doing. However, it is not a problem. The majority will have their way and the minority will have their say. If you bring all of us together, enjoy your majority status, but let us tell you, this thing you are doing is not working and it will not work. This is how we can do it to make it work. You understand? It's not as if we are not willing to come. We work together as Council of Maritime Transport Unions, and there's almost no association in the maritime industry that is not part of COMTRA. However, when COMTRA was insisting that this thing is not working, TTP has to and MP has to use a lot of resources to penetrate or to infiltrate our camps and make a few associations to say we are dissociating ourselves from COMTRA. And these associations that are dissociating themselves from COMTRA has the right to do so, and they are relating with them, and they will tell you we have met with stakeholders. They will tell you we have met with stakeholders.
Move me a little bit further from my question, maybe. I also know that some of your yes, like you just said now, within the associations, there is so much alignment and realignment. There is so much infighting amongst even the truckers association. What are the issues?
I've just mentioned it. The issue is just because somebody is using so much resources to infiltrate our camp. It's not. That's another banditry.
Okay.
We have bandits, even in the industry. I'll give you an example.
This is the Maritime Border Show. This is the Maritime Border Show on 90.3 FM VOP. If you're not tuned into this program,
you are missing a lot.
So our phone lines are still open: 0700 903 903 903
and on 0817 175 6338
080 3692 9933. Before we go on, I just have this short message I want to read. Good afternoon, Prince Chilaka, your co-host, and the other gentleman in the house. Can our guest please give an insight into the largest ports around the world and their maximum annual cargo handling in relation to our ports? Do these ports operations cause traffic congestion and disruptions in their host cities? Architect Olalekon in Ijayi.
Yes, that's what I've said. There are proper policy formation in other parts of the world. The implementation is excellent and enforcement is perfect. But in this part of the world, it is even the same policy formators that will deliberately circumvent the process. I'll tell you, you have told us that we are all going to book and come to the port. It is only TTP that knows who is booking ahead of the order. Therefore, you can remain in the transit park for weeks, and somebody that has done the same cargo with you is rounding the trip. It's rounding another trip.
Please, can you turn off your radio, please?
Okay. Good afternoon.
Yes, good afternoon, please.
Okay, my name is Mr. Paul.
Okay, Mr. Paul, you're welcome.
Yeah, I'm calling for Okati.
Go ahead,
Go
sir.
ahead.
Okay, I'm an agent by profession anyway. So I enjoy your program.
Thank you.
Exactly, that's what's happening in our industry, exactly what you're saying now. But I want to react in the place where your guest there is saying that when you carry the container, like in 1 week or 7 days, nobody pays. Are you getting me?
Well, we to go ahead.
So yes, to him nobody pays because he carried the container. Nobody give me extra money for carrying it 7 days, but the agent pay because we deposited money on behalf of that container to the shipping company, and by the time we carry that container 7 days, 1 week or 1 month, we pay. Our money is going down the drain on the shipping line, and wherever our deposit is finished, they still bill us that we are owing now. So in as much as that container haven't been dropped, you carry it or somebody delay it, agents still pay. We stop it, we pay for it, even when we don't even know what to do. So the delay of dropping container is heavy on us. The agent is one that paying it. That's where I want to react. Somebody is behind the plane.
All right, so he'll look into it. We'll get into
Mr. Harry, you understand his question?
We are not talking about the same container. It's getting it twisted.
No. Let me.
I know what he's talking about. It's getting it twisted. We are not talking about the same container. What I'm saying is, I load this cargo, and they have offloaded this cargo from my truck. I am not returning that container to the port. I am taking it to Holding Bay. And the moment it gets to Holding Bay, his deposit stops.
Exactly.
From there.
Stops running.
It stops running. So we are not talking. He was talking about the container before we dropped it at the Holding Bay. I am talking of the container we picked from Holding Bay to the ports. If we pick a container from Holding Bay, it's not a container that is still running on deposit. It's a container whose container interchange has been submitted. And we are taking this to the port. It takes about 10-15 days. Nobody pays for that.
You are not compensated for that.
Nobody's compensated for that. Nobody's compensating you for how long it takes to get to the port.
Oh.
You can imagine. See,
sounds green.
Does it make any sense to any upright person in this country to say that the haulage rate has reduced by 60% when every other cost associated to haulage has increased by 200%? No, look at how can you discuss this? When we were loading from mile 2, when we were loading from the port to Ikeja at 1.5 million that he mentioned, was the time the road was so bad. And at that time, a keg of diesel 30 liters was 8,000 naira. Look at the margin. And this was during COVID, to the extent that you may even spend a month before returning the container. All these issues have been resolved. Now, a liter of diesel is an average of 1,000 naira. Going from Apapa to Ikeja to Holding Bay, you will use about 100 liters, coming to 100,000 naira. And you are now saying it has reduced by 65% to about 350,000 naira. When you now deduct this 100,000 naira, what is left of it? Of a lease arrangement of 180 million naira? I mean, you just lease. Some people will just come and steal people's achievement as theirs.
Okay, so let's still go back. For us, we always try to balance the argument. We're looking at it. I mean, you guys are going through a lot. We appreciate that. What has it been like for you being the president of Comtour in the present circumstance?
Honestly, it's the worst of time for any trucker. I'll give it to you. Just as I said, loading from Apapa to Ikeja now, an average of 300,000 naira. 100 liters of diesel at 100,000 naira. The driver gets about 50,000 naira.
That's 150.
That's 150. Out of 300, you are left with 150. Call up to get into that place is an average of, if you want to follow the process, which means you know that as you are going out, you are not coming back until after 2 weeks, it's going to cost you an average of, say, 50,000 naira.
So that's 100,000 remaining.
That's 100,000 remaining. God forbid that you have flat tire on the road. No area boy will allow you to change your tire. They will rather call LASMA to come and remove that truck. And it becomes a crime that you have a flat tire on the road because you are penalized
For
having a flat tire in addition to the towing fee.
In addition to area boys.
Now look at it. Look at it.
Area boy has been removed now.
No. You didn't get it. You are getting it wrong.
In addition to
Now when you get to LASMA office, you have your ticket of about 200,000 naira to contend with. After paying for that, you now want to go and remove your truck from their garage. They will now tell you, before we were able to remove that truck,
we settled
the area boys 50,000 naira.
LASMA?
And you must pay. LASMA will settle area boys before they remove the trucks, and you must pay.
So government agencies settling area boys.
They will even tell you, we did so before we removed the truck, and you must pay. And you must pay. As if that is not enough. They can even tell you there was loss of manpower, hours, man
hours, I mean, some economic
hours expended into it. It has happened before. Just last month, they issued a ticket of 1 million naira to a truck that they spent over 6 hours before they were able to remove the truck.
The 1 million naira goes into the coffers of the state government.
How? I don't know.
We need to know.
No, even if it goes into the coffers of the state government, that's exploitation.
No,
extortion.
Let us not even talk of the exploitation first. Let us get to the root of it. The 1 million naira, is it paid into the coffers of the state government, or is it paid into a private account?
They will give you an account.
Owned by who?
They will just give you an account. They give you a code. I don't want to go into that.
No, but you should go into that.
Yeah, they'll give you an account, give you a code. You get to the bank, you get the code, you make your payment, and we have investigated in some instances. Some of these accounts belong to private individuals.
So why don't you take it up with the LASMA management?
How far do you think we can go? We are in court with MPA. We are in court with Shippers Council.
No,
we are in
but
court with TTP.
We can call out LASMA. We can, because if that is what LASMA is doing, LASMA officials are doing, we will call out the management of LASMA officials. We'll call out their management, because this is nothing but fraud. You talk about banditry. This is another form of banditry.
This one is terrorism.
It's unacceptable by any standard.
This one is see, you don't know. I'll tell you for free. Look, just don't envy anybody that owns a truck. Just don't envy. I am just coming from Ikorodu. I saw a truck parked around Majidun because of flat tire. Properly parked. He's changing the tires. The army officials there, they are demanding money. Area boys demanding money.
Army officials demanding money.
Just this morning, they are there. And
crime has become a kind of industry.
It is.
Apart from truckers, let me also tell you, I have experience where your car breaks down on the road, your private car breaks down on the road. Area boys will come. Last week I was coming back in the evening, just after Sele. A man, he had a flat tire. He got down, removed the tire, took it to a vulcanizer, fixed it, came back to put his tire back, and this boy said he would never. So what? These are the things that the Lagos State government should be addressing.
So while a lot of people twisted the position of the SSA to the governor to begin to give it an ethnic coloration, I think we should rather challenge them on the fact that even if cargoes are diverted anywhere, if Lagos has a genuine...
Hello. Good afternoon. Can you turn off your radio, please?
Good evening. Good afternoon, sorry.
Yes, good afternoon.
Hello.
Good afternoon.
My name is Uma. I'm calling from Alaba.
Okay.
So, what I want to keep in is this, that we share similarity in all these difficulties the man in the studio is talking about. I'm into downfall driving. So we face all these difficulties on the road. Government will tell us they want society where that will not be certificated, that we should go into our personal, into the business, find something bring in our house. And we bring in loads of difficulty for bottling for somebody to become an entrepreneur. So I don't know. I've called into your show many times. We need to form human rights group in this country. You have certificate, you don't want to go for the job, you go into business, they keep frustrating your life. This is the hell of a country we are.
Thank you. You know, there are some calls that just beat you below the belt. You know, yes, I totally agree. Nigerians are going through a lot right now. Hello, good afternoon. Your name and where you're calling from, please.
Hello, good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon. Your
Good
name and
afternoon. Happy Sunday to everybody in the studio. So I want to let my
Happy
voice
Sunday to you. What's your name, please? And where are you calling in from? Hello, sir. Oh, we lost him.
We lost the call, not him.
Hello.
We lost the call.
The call dropped. So go ahead, sir.
So we should also, instead of giving these statements a coloration of ethnicity, we should rather come out clean and ask Lagos State government, how enabling is this business environment? How enabling? I just mentioned the cargo going to Ikorodu now. There's a point in Ikorodu, in Odogion, you will pay 25,000 naira to access the industrial area. 25,000 naira, still on the same job that is 150,000 naira balance.
So in other words, the owner of the truck doesn't really make anything at the end of the day.
Come, let us go there. Come and check. There is nobody since the introduction of this TTP that has not downsized their fleets. There's nobody. The business is no longer there. It's not lucrative. An average. Let me bring something to you. Sometimes in 2011, I think Akinme Ambode was governor between 2011 and 2015.
Yeah, it was.
Was it? No, I think 2015.
2015 to 2019.
There is no penalty for obstruction.
No, Ambode took them out of the road.
There's no penalty. I'm not talking of area boys now. There's no penalty for obstruction.
I know, he took even...
If your vehicle is broken down, the Lagos State government takes it as a responsibility to remove it from the road at zero cost to you. Do you know what that means to an average trucker? It means that administration gave a bonus of 10 million naira on each truck to every trucker.
So why is Governor Showolu not doing this?
We need to ask the special advisor, the special assistant, because he said the governor is doing so much. Probably some people are in that administration that are obstructing the wheel of his progress. It's not the governor. There could be policies. There could be genuine and properly articulated policies. But who are those implementing these policies?
Hello, good afternoon. Your name and where you're calling
Good
from?
afternoon, Prince Chilada and the other man in the studio.
My name is
So
Didi.
what I was saying, what we're practicing in Nigeria is not democracy. That's number one, because I don't see where I'll be driving on the road. My car gets flat tire. Area boys will come to me and tell me to pay money for it before I fix it. I've had several experiences. I was going to Agege one day on Oshodi Expressway. My car had overheating issues. I cleared off the road close to Terminal 1 for me to open my bonnet to check why the thing was overheating. Area boys came around me. I parted with 5,000 because they threatened that they were going to call LASMA, and LASMA is going to tow the vehicle, and I'm going to pay for towing, and I'm going to pay them before they remove the vehicle. It's crazy. Every day you go out in this Lagos, you just have to pray that you don't have experience that will make you to be on the road. I was coming from work 2 weeks ago. my car had issue close to Sele. I didn't have, I drove the car with that bad state to Emaden filling station and cleared into the filling station to check my car, because I knew if I stopped in that Sele, it's going to be a trouble for me that night. So I don't understand what someone has created in this Lagos, because Ampode was not like this, Fashola was not like this. I don't know. I try to understand, because it's annoying every day. Have a nice day.
Thanks so very much, sir. Have yourself a nice day.
So basically, the electronic call-off system need a complete overhaul. The current handler has done nothing to commend them on. We are not averse to electronic call-off system, but let us know who is doing what. While we were paying for, do you understand? Do you know that there's something you call virtual garages? They only exist online, and you pay the same amount to access this garage without any facility.
Is that so?
Of course, they use it they use it as a compensation for their friends and cronies, extorting truckers. See, if things must work, we must be genuine, be sincere. The political will of the government, even to address some of these issues, are not there. We have been complaining about this in the last 5 years. Just as we have mentioned now, the Nigeria Shippers Council does not see anything wrong in anything. How can you charge me 750 naira for every 10,000 naira deposit for a service? 750 naira. Sometimes in 2021, there was no facility in Kirikiri. TTP was collecting monies in Kirikiri from people before accessing their garages.
Hello.
I have a question for you.
Please, can you reduce the problem of your radio?
Okay, it's not, I'm calling with. Are you getting me clearer now?
Yeah. Now, what's your name and where are you calling him from?
You said you have a question.
Yeah.
In Kirikiri, there's nothing TTP is doing there. In 2021, they were there with a POS machine, insisting that any truck entering into Kirikiri must pay the same amount we are paying for Eto. They were collecting it physically, they were using POS, they were accepting transfer. We had a meeting, and the MD of the Nigerian Port Authority then, Bello Koko, was asking us, we mentioned this.
Hello, good afternoon.
Hello.
Good afternoon.
Hello. Yeah, my name is Leonard Onyaba.
Okay, go ahead, sir.
Now, in addition to the matter that we were discussing, let me tell you, in this government, that the government of Lagos State, 4 years ago, we are Yaba Industrial Estate, the first industrial estate in Nigeria. There were about 55 industries. They came to this industry 4 years ago. The money place and Taylor was came in there. After there were so many of our machines and everything. Industry. Since that 4 years, after that 4 years, up till now, nothing has been done. Go there at Saboya, but go and look at it. It's other people that are doing cabbages and that is what I can't understand. This thing you are seeing now is what is that's at the level of a state is the same thing that is happening at the national level. Thank you very much. May God help us to do it right. Thank you.
Thank you.
Mr. Ray, I want to ask you this. What is your alternative to Eto and the arrangement by NPA?
Eto is a brand. That's not the policy. It's just like trying to call all carbonated drink Coca-Cola or calling them Pepsi. No, Eto is a brand.
Yeah.
Now when you are saying call up, it doesn't have to be Eto. It could be anything.
It doesn't have to be the present company.
Give us your own.
What we are saying is
it
is simple. The terminal operators should determine what trucks comes in and goes out.
Okay.
However, they are giving quota based on their facility and capacity by MPA.
Okay.
And on daily basis or weekly, they will submit their requisition with the Nigerian Ports Authority.
So all operations should be domiciled with the terminal operators.
It's as simple as that, and all those things we are mentioning disappears.
All right, so let us have your pattern shot. I mean,
Yeah.
we're cruising home already.
Advice to everyone.
Well, there is no trucker in Nigeria that is averse to digitalizing the ports. But what we want is a complete digital system, to the extent that when you are going into the port with your empty container, you are sure you are going in and you are dropping it as and when due. And if you have matched your TDO to a truck, you are sure that when you get there, you are going to load that cargo. It's not as if a vehicle has loaded the cargo. And what we have now, to the extent that the Truck Transit Park Limited, TTP, the handlers of ATO, are extorting Nigerians in the area of the fees, the commission, or what do you call these charges on every funding that you do to your wallet. These are pure extortions, and the NPA should purge itself of this illicit revenue generation syndrome, and let us concentrate on solving this problem. Nigeria Shippers Council, the economic regulator, should be alive to its responsibility, and that's my position.
Thank you so very much, Mr. Adeyinka, the president of Comtour. It's been such a wonderful moment here today. The issues within the maritime sector seem a little bit, intractable to me, because each time we bring in a guest here, they lay out a whole lot of problems, a whole lot of things that are happening that most people don't know. But these are surmountable problems. These are things that we can overcome and then allow the country to benefit from the potentials that are within the
Where's the political will to solve the problem? Everybody in NPA will tell you, I can't. If I listen to what Comtour is saying, I will come here poor and return poor, because they all want to generate illicit revenue.
All right.
Thank you so very much, Mr. Rayon.
Thank you.
This is VOP 90.3. You've been listening to the Maritime and Border Show. We've been trying to look at the issue of the Somersault in policies and how it's affecting the gridlock that we once knew and we're now beginning to experience at the Apapa Maitu axis. We hope that at the end of the day, the Nigerian Ports Authority, the Park Transit Group, the regulators, that's the Nigerian Shippers Council, and all the other agencies that are involved will be able to do the right thing to ensure that things are done orderly. We're also calling out on the Lagos State government, especially LASMA, to see how they can be able to handle this issue of area boys, whatever name they want to call them.
Exploitation on the highways.
Exactly. So please, Governor Sanwo-Olu, we're calling out on you. We believe that you can do something, and urgently. My name is Prince Chilaka, and this has been the Maritime and Border Show.
My name is Dilio Tommy. We are signing out.
We are done.